Rise from the ashes.
Ride 24 slow mo. Why I'm so paid, don't know. Tear the club up like a off-road. Pocket full of money, maybe no bro. Ride 24 slow mo. Why I'm so paid, don't know. Tear the club up like a off-road. Pocket full of money, maybe no bro. You know I'm riding on the champs of them Kobe Bean Bryants. They say I'm not fly, then you know them niggas lying. The stunting is a habit, I'm the best in the business. Fresh, flashy motherfucker, riding clean windows tinted. Bitch, I'm ballin' like a superstar, dabbing on the beat. 804 on the whip and jumpin's on my feet. Everywhere you niggas go, we getting treated like some kings. Bitches dropping to the floor when I grab the mic and sing. Yeah, go and do yourself a favor. Keep your chick away from me because I notice her behavior. I'm only speaking facts, true bona fide player. If she reaches for my pants, I'ma let her taste the flavor. And I'ma let it be known. Pocket stay on OMG. Vehicle strictly on chrome. Haters left the fuck alone. RIC I'm putting on. Anyone who try to stop us in the barrels of your dome. Ride 24 slow mo. Why I'm so big, don't know. Tear the club up like a off-road. Pocket full of money, baby, no bro. Ride 24 slow mo. Why I'm so big, don't know. Tear the club up like a off-road. Pocket full of money, baby, no bro.
We ain't walk up in the party, niggas mad, they bitches staring. Get your chicken, ain't my fault that she be digging my parents. Never talk true religion, that's all that I be wearing. Rock some Gucci or some 50, it depends on how I'm feeling. JJ's ain't even dropped yet, pull up the roof and drop back. My chain glitz when they hit the sun, no way to stop that. And every link that's up in my chain, it costs a lot, man. Them J's supposed to dropping this, we got this when it comes up. Show me through the ball, me and my niggas, we be fly as hell. But don't get it twisted, my pistol holster is YSL. Different watch every week, and I got every sneak. Check the diamonds as soon as you look, nigga, I bet you blink. As a youngin', I ain't had it, now I got it, and I rap and getting bread. No excuses, ain't got no answer for me. Pull up in the bush, hop out in Alexander McQueen. Chain so heavy, man, I think that it damaged my spleen.
Ride 24 slow mo. Why I'm so big, don't know. Tear the club up like a off-road. Pocket full of money, baby, no bro. Ride 24 slow mo. Why I'm so big, don't know. Tear the club up like a off-road. Pocket full of money, baby, no bro.
Yeah, I sweat hustling harder. Take a look at this product. Raleigh feeling my garage. My shit's looking like frog. Shitting on these niggas. Toilet bowl getting clogged up. Bitch in the back with a drawers on. My windows getting fogged up. Top back on that old school. Riding around that 6 train. Cop back taking softball. Turn his ass to a Chevrolet. Niggas got guns but can't shoot. Pull mine like a baby too. Your boy talk shit, get it too. 85 on up like a baby fruit. You ain't talking about shit if you ain't talking about my green. I win here, win there. By winning, I'm trying to shit. Got a condo on that beachfront. Wake up and I feel the breeze. Got a hook up on that Cali cause I'm serving niggas that seaweed. Super to my B squad, you know I'm rapping that B team. Pop black and yo like Wiz Khalifa with looking sharp as a bee sting. You know you broke when you ask the price. Diamonds clear as a glass of ice. I hit them all, buy it all. Shit so heavy, gotta bag it twice.
Ride 24 slow mo. Why I'm so big, don't know. Tear the club up like a off-road. Pocket full of money, baby, no bro. Ride 24 slow mo. Why I'm so big, don't know. Tear the club up like a off-road. Pocket full of money, baby, no bro. Turn up in the motherfucking club.
Turn up in the club where that money at. Turn up in the club where the women at. Turn up in the club where the liquor at. Yeah.
What up, my G?
Yeah, we swat it up and it's going down Broad Street.
Okay. What up, my G?
California palm trees.
I, sir, am from Richmond, Virginia. I am from Richmond, Virginia. How you doing? Pleasure to meet you. My name is Brandon Bravon Towns. It's another episode of Sports Plus Life. How's everybody doing? Now, I'm going to keep it a stack with y'all. I'm sick to the motherfucker. I'm going to keep it a stack with y'all. I'm sick. I all day. What up, homie? What up, Lomar? I'm sick as a bitch. Honestly, that whole time that track was playing, the whole time that track was playing, I was fixing me a hot toddy because I need it. All day since I woke up. I didn't go to the daycare, but it's too much stuff to talk about for me to not make an appearance. Now, oh boy. Am I going to stay long? No. Not unless somebody comes and joins me, which I'm not even pressing. Real life motherfucking podcast, niggas. Yeah. So this is dedication. Yeah. I don't feel good. I had a fever. Coughs. So when I got off the bus, I had to go to Kroger, get me some NyQuil, Dayquil, extra strength, cough and cold medicine, cough drops, all the above. Yeah, appreciate that, bro. Because, yeah, I ain't going to lie. I feel like dookie braids. I do. Oh, that's something new now. What I do? I got the comments on the screen. Oh, shit. I don't be knowing how to. I don't be knowing what the hell I'm doing. Oh. Okay, well, you know what? Fuck it. Let's give it a try. Hey, man, that's what I feel like, bro. I feel like dookie braids, bro. Let's give it a try. Why not? First time for everything on here. But, yeah. So, first of all, I hope everybody's enjoying their week. It is Tuesday, January 13th, 2026. The spirit is there, but the energy is so not. What up, Hampton? What's going on, my boy? If you want to join, I sent you a link. But, yeah, I don't feel good, so I'm going to get right to it. It is wildcard weekend is officially done. And last night's game, the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Houston Texans, was actually a good game until the fourth quarter. Okay, so don't let people fool you. I know the final score. I know what the final score was. But in the fourth quarter, this was a 10-6 game. Okay? This was a 10-6 game. And then the roof collapsed for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, it'd be like that sometimes, you dig? It'd be like that sometimes, okay? Sometimes the roof collapses. So it's really one highlight. What's up, boo-boo? It's only one highlight to show from this game. Oh, Jesus, I'm not going to lie. I feel horrible. But it's only one highlight to show from this game, the knockout punch. Knockout shot for real.
Rodgers, time runs out. Ball is out. It's picked up by the Texans.
That was the knockout punch.
And he is in for a touchdown.
Hey, I love D'Amico. I ain't gonna lie. I love D'Amico
Anderson
Ryan.
and Rankins got home on Aaron Rodgers, and then Rankins took it into the end zone, and obviously it'll be looked at to make sure that Rankins was not down by contact.
Oh, no, he was not. This was the knockout shot.
Recovered by Houston and went back for a touchdown. Well, you've got the pressure off the edge with Will Anderson, and then Rankins comes here, and he goes right through.
Definitely the knockout shot.
I mean, this is a two-man rush on that left side, and both guys.
Hey, I thought they chopped that nigga in half.
In a close ball game, the defense, as you would expect, comes up with the huge play, and it is a touchdown.
Ooh.
He never went down. Rankins picked it up while he was standing.
Knockout shot. So that was the knockout shot. That made it 17-6. It never, Pittsburgh never came close to threaten them to get any more points. Houston actually added 2 more touchdowns. They had another drive where they got a rushing touchdown, and then they had a pick 6 near the end of the game. Now, before I get to the Pittsburgh Steelers, okay, let me show the love to the team that motherfucking won the game, okay? The Houston Texans. You heard me in the video. I love head coach DeMeco Ryans. Yes, I do. I love his energy. He's a leader of men. He's a culture builder, and clearly, he's a program builder, because when he took over the job of the Houston Texans, that was a franchise who was in utter chaos. They had become, for all intents and purposes, a laughingstock. Why did they become a laughingstock? Because their franchise quarterback, their then franchise quarterback, Deshaun Watson, said, I want out this bitch. He said he wanted out. And they had just wasted the best season of his career, excuse me. But, and then they were going through black coaches like toilet paper. You know, Stephen A. Smith comes on live and says, don't go to Houston because they'll hire a black coach and then they'll fire him, which was true. They did it with Lovie Smith, and they did it with another older gentleman. And then they hired DeMeco Ryan. They were so bad they had the number 2 pick in the draft. And who did they draft? C.J. Stroud. They drafted C.J. Stroud. Now, what I will say is C.J. Stroud's play overall has kind of taken a dip. But what DeMeco Ryans has done with that defense, my Lord, because I'm going to be honest with you, if C.J. Stroud did not play well last night. He fumbled the ball like 5 times, lost a couple of them, and if it weren't for that defense being so sensational, they easily could have lost that game. Again, this was a 10-6 game in the fourth quarter. Their defense, when they went into lockdown mode, they went into lockdown mode. Now, that defense is legit. I mean, this defense, if they're to win the Super Bowl, and it is possible, if they're to win the Super Bowl, that defense would be talked about like the 85 Bears, 2000 Ravens, 02 Bucks, 2013 Seattle Seahawks, 2015 Denver Broncos. They would be talked about in that regard. Now, why they don't scare me is because I have a team in Denver, Colorado, who can play defense just as well. People may not want to believe it because people are prisoners of the moment, and we take care of the ball a little better. We beat them this season. Matter of fact, we're the last team that beat the Houston Texans. So, you know, it is what it is. You know, we'll see what happens. The Houston Texans go on to play the New England Patriots. If you're the New England Patriots, nigga, you need to be nervous. Because the Patriots have an outstanding defense themselves. You know, the rest of the way, unless somehow the AFC Championship game is Houston against Buffalo, somehow, some way, unless the AFC Championship game is Houston and Buffalo, Houston is going to have to run through very tough defenses, and their offense at times can be very shaky. They can be very shaky, but shout out to head coach DeMeco Ryans. This is his 3rd year in Houston. Every year he's made the playoffs. Every year he's got a playoff win. This is the franchise's first ever road playoff win. That is awesome. DeMeco Ryans, you are awesome. You're awesome. And the Houston Texans are not to be trifled with. Not at all. Not with Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter and Shazier and those corners, Lassiter and Stingley. These motherfuckers play. They mean it, and they're hungry. They are hungry. They are hungry. And DeMeco Ryan, I think you're going to see a Mike Tomlin-like tenure as far as longevity in Houston, because if I'm Houston, I ain't getting rid of this dude. No way, because your quarterback play has honestly gone down. Now, CJ Stroud is a franchise quarterback, don't get me wrong, but his play has diminished since his amazing rookie season. But again, he's built it up so much that in today's NFL, where the quarterback is made to be the end-all, be-all, all CJ Stroud has to do is be a game manager. Those previous teams that I mentioned, 85 Bears, 2000 Ravens, 02 Bucks, 2013 Seahawks, 2015 Broncos. Their quarterbacks were, for the most part, game managers. Russell Wilson could put the team on his back. Russell Wilson did have that ability. I'm not going to disrespect Russell Wilson like that because he had proven that he could take over games. But that goddamn Legion of Boom, boy, that goddamn Legion of Boom was something special. Quarterback, 85 Bears, Jim McMahon, looked like a rock star, game manager. Trent Dilfer, he wasn't even the starter at the beginning of the season for the 2000 Ravens, game manager. Brad Johnson could have moments where he took over the game at that point in his career. He was just what the Bucs needed, but very effective game manager. I already said Russell Wilson, the great Peyton Manning at that point in his career was a game manager. He was no more, he was no less. And that defense, 10 years ago, Von Miller, DeMarcus Ware, I've named the whole fucking defense out here. Goddamn, Malik Jackson, Derek Wolfe, Brandon Marshall, goddamn, what's his name? A boy linebacker from Kansas. I'll get in a second, but Talib, Chris Harris, Darian Stewart, TJ Ward, Danny Trevathan, linebacker from Kansas. That's the whole goddamn defense. And boy, we were awesome. And the Texans have that they have the vibe that goes with those teams. Only problem is there's a team in Denver, Colorado, who has that same DNA on their defense. So imagine if it's the Texans and the Broncos in the AFC Championship game, you might look at a game that's 6-3. When we beat the Texans, we didn't score a touchdown. We kicked 5 or 6 field goals. Real shit. I think 6 field goals from Will Lutz. We didn't score a touchdown. But Sean Payton knows he can read the room. He knows when to take the points. And that's been a problem with a lot of these coaches today. And it was a game-winning last-second field goal. So, and it would be that type of game again in Denver if it's the Texans and the Broncos. I can see it being like that. Well, the Texans play the Patriots. So, yeah. Yeah. So, shout out to the Texans. Now, on to the big news of the day. Longtime Pittsburgh Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin has resigned as Pittsburgh Steelers coach. He has resigned. He stepped down. You can see the writing was on the wall. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers fan base was very disrespectful for what this man has done for your organization. 19 years, never a losing season, 2 Super Bowl appearances, a Super Bowl championship. Mike Tomlin deserved better than hearing the crowd chant, "Fire Tomlin." But it's like the old saying goes, if you stay you can be the hero, but sometimes you can stay too long to where you find yourself being the villain. And Mike Tomlin deserved better than that from the Steelers fans. I understand the Steelers' passionate fan base. They're not used to losing playoff games. But he stepped down. And a lot of people had opinions on that. And let's hear from one Bomani Jones. Shout out to Bomani Jones's podcast. This is one of the most brilliant brothers I have ever heard talk.
Is going to change about this, right? I feel like you need to get out at a time like this when people are kind of on the fence. Now, you can roll the dice and think that you're about to win them back over, or that's how you wind up getting your windows bust out. You know, especially in a place like this. Because, look, I say this all the time about coaches, and I think it's a little underrated, but it's the truth. I can make an argument right now for firing 2/3 or 3/4 of the league at any given point in time, right? Whether or not somebody gets fired typically hinges on one thing: whether somebody wants to fire you. Right? That's all it comes down to, okay? It seems clear the Steelers did not want to fire Mike Tomlin because they could have done that a while ago. It also seems clear they did not want to fire Mike Tomlin because he stepped down. Now, hey, maybe that's a matter of them letting him step down because then you ain't got to give him no money. I'm sure there's some contractual thing that's being worked out there. I think it's interesting that Tomlin says he's going to take a break from coaching, that he's not looking around. That's the smart play. You go, you get out here, you do some television, and you
get ready to learn about LA, buddy.
Yeah. I'm about to say, yeah, he is a Fox guy.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Well,
you can go ahead and lock that in right now.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I think he could be a Fox guy. I don't know. He could fit on anybody's broadcast, right? Like, I get the feeling that the Mike Tomlin that exists in real life is too much fun for an NBC broadcast. But if he wants to be the Mike Tomlin that we have seen, Tony Dungy better watch his ass.
Yeah.
We got a new one of you right here. Rodney Harrison, you too. But I was thinking about the Tomlin tenure, and I think that the legacy of Mike Tomlin with Pittsburgh, if there is a legacy, if you ask me, is he is the shining example of what the Rooney Rule can do. And we are coming in that time of year. Actually, Ryan, I don't even know if people still play this game anymore, if they even care about the Rooney Rule anymore. I ain't seen it come up, not once, but I have seen Antonio Pierce get an interview. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, in the age of the fancy Instagram graphic, it is very clear who's getting it out of the way early.
Yeah. Look, I would love to sit there with John Mara as he went through it. John Mara, how do you say it? As he went through his phone trying to find somebody he knew to call, because he'd have had to run through all the black people he already knew with all these searches that they've had in the last few years. And then he's like, "Hey, Antonio, yeah, we
made this work."
I mean, I don't think they're going to call Brian Flores.
Hell no.
I think they've burned that bridge.
Remember when that happened?
Yeah.
I don't think
he just scrolls right past the bees.
Yeah, I don't think that one's going down. But and this is where it's interesting though, because Tomlin isn't about the Rooney Rule legacy. But the truth is, the people who stand to gain the most from the Rooney Rule have always been the owners. You could make the argument that it is black coaches, but that's only a handful of people.
Now, if for those of you who are not familiar with the Rooney Rule, this is a rule that was put in 2007 because there was the outcry, and it still is to a degree, of the lack of black head coaches being allowed in the NFL, or minority coaches in the NFL. It is called the Rooney Rule because the Rooneys, who own the Pittsburgh Steelers, hired Mike Tomlin. And yes, Mike Tomlin he's the poster boy of the Rooney Rule because you see what you got. You got 19 seasons of over 500 football. Again, a couple of championships, a championship, a couple Super Bowl appearances, multiple division championships. So Mike Tomlin, when I hear people say he may be a Hall of Famer, I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? Mike Tomlin is a clear ballot, is a clear-cut first ballot Hall of Famer. But, we always got to have haters when we do great. It just is what it is. Now, as far as Mike Tomlin is concerned, the spots, I've been thinking about this ever since my uncle sent me this text message around like 3 o'clock, around like 2:30. I mean, where would a good landing spot for Mike Tomlin be? Where would a good landing spot for Tomlin be? For me, I'm going to say something a little wild. You damn right, Hampton, he is. Ain't no motherfucking Mike. Anybody who thinks that can kick rocks and flip-flops. Old hating ass, bitch ass niggas. But I'm gonna say something wild now. Because remember, I said something wild last time, but I'm not saying it just for shock value. I really believe that. This is what I would do. If I'm Mike Tomlin, 3 spots I would want to go to. And the goddamn Giants ain't one of them. Even though I think the Giants may be the only team in NFL history that that's never had a black head coach. Maybe. I mean, maybe it might be the Cowboys too, which would not surprise me. If I'm Mike Tomlin, I either want to go to Baltimore. Definitely want to go to Baltimore. And I was talking with Sean about this. He didn't agree. He said Offensive line situation, that's all right. You can build that back up. That's just my opinion. The second place would be Atlanta. There's all that goddamn talent in Atlanta. I've said this in the chat. Watching the Atlanta Falcons play makes me angry because they have such elite, top-tier talent, but they still find ways to lose. And plus, to me, the Falcons is a type of team and city that need a black head coach. And the third choice would be the Washington Commanders. That would be because I believe if he does take a year out of coaching, I believe Dan Quinn, if he takes a year off from coaching, I would throw the Commanders to the top of the list because they're going to find somebody in Baltimore and they're going to find somebody in Atlanta. But Dan Quinn, if the Commanders have another bad season, and Mike Tomlin is right there, yeah, they'll get your ass up out of there for Coach T. Promise you that. And of course, he could just do TV like Bill Cowher did, the last Steeler coach before him, and say, yo, I'm good on the set. If he did go to Fox, excuse me, you guys, I'm so sorry. If he did go to Fox, I would have him on the A team immediately as far as commentators. I wouldn't have him in the studio. That's probably where they would want him because they want a Super Bowl champion coach on set. I get it. They had Jimmy Johnson. They had Sean Payton. And, of course, Tomlin checks that box. But I would want him up right there with Menifee and Brady. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. I would. Because that way, that kind of feeds Mike Tomlin's coaching itch. Because when you're on the A team, you have to interview the players. You have to go into the locker room. You have to be hands-on. So you're really still a part of the game. But yeah, if I'm the Baltimore Ravens, I'm looking at this window for Lamar Jackson. That's why I said last week, if I'm the Ravens, I'm calling Bill Belichick. But now that Tomlin's available, 18 years younger, I'm calling Mike Tomlin. Who gives a fuck if he was a Steelers coach for 19 years? You think any Ravens fan would get mad if they hired Mike Tomlin? You find me a Ravens fan that would be mad if the Ravens hired Mike Tomlin. I will show you a dumb motherfucker. Flat out.
Right? They get in. Like, if you get on and you get your shot, okay, cool. But the biggest winners have always been the owners because the whole idea of the Rooney Rule is let us open the door for you for qualified applicants that your dumb ass wouldn't even think about calling in the first place. Yep. Now we gonna make you be better at your jobs. That's what was required. And so for people who don't know the story, in 2007, Mike Tomlin interviewed to be the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. We've talked about this before. We don't need to make another social video on this. The Dolphins did not hire Mike Tomlin because they thought that he was, and I quote, too hip-hop. Instead, they hired Cam Cameron and probably went 1-15. This really happened, okay? The Steelers had heard about Tomlin's interview with the Dolphins and how well it had gone. Because keep in mind, Tomlin had only been a coordinator for 1 year. He'd been the Minnesota Vikings defensive coordinator the year before. They heard about how good his interview was. They had already satisfied the Rooney Rule requirement in Pittsburgh because they interviewed Ron Rivera, okay? After hearing about Tomlin, they brought him in and they were like, hey, what you doing for the next 15, 20 years? Okay, well, if you want to come here, you can do that. And they gave him that job. And then in year 2, won a Super Bowl. In year 4, went to another Super Bowl. All right? The Rooney Rule, I think, is often misunderstood. It's often that the league tries to skirt it and the teams don't want to do anything with the actual spirit of it. But when it works, it's not simply about whether somebody gets a job. It's about some of the little steps that take place to get somebody in. Like, Ryan, they used to do that little speed dating thing, and now they're getting rid of that, right? It's a whole new America. So, we're starting to see people fall back on these things, but we will fairly ask ourselves the question if and when Mike Tomlin would have wound up in a position to get one of these gigs, if not for the Rooney Rule itself. I think that's an important thing to remember, and it's not just okay if that's the Mike Tomlin legacy. That's actually a great thing. Like, I'm not going to try to make the argument. I always say it's not our job to overcome this racism. You understand what I'm saying? Like, when Mike Tomlin, when a black person is the first blank to do something, that's not about us. That's more so about them. Though, generally speaking, you got to be a bad motherfucker to be the first black blank, whatever it happens to be.
Hallelujah. I got to tell you, damn, I have fever 101.6. Damn it. Fuck. All right. The fact that the Miami Dolphins said that Mike Tomlin is too hip-hop serves them right that they ain't done shit since Dan Marino. And they got a black head coach about 12 years later, and they did him dirtball. That's crazy. Lord have mercy. Lord, Father Jesus, why do I have to be sick? My goodness gracious. All right. Anyway. So Mike Tomlin, and I think Mike Tomlin should take a bow. Mike Tomlin should stand up and honestly take a bow that he's been a magnificent head coach for almost 2 decades. We're going to round it up. Round it off 20 years. Anyway, now, as for divisional weekend, the matchups are set. You have Saturday at 4:30, the Buffalo Bills against my Denver Broncos. I better be well when that happens, God damn it. Okay, I better be ready because I need all my energy, okay? I need all my goddamn energy, all right? I meant what I said when I was talking about them damn Buffalo Bills, and I'm not saying it to be disrespectful, but some a bitch, we better handle business. I mean it. We better handle business. So we got the Broncos and the Bills at 4:30. We have the Seahawks and the 49ers at 8. And then on Sunday, we have the Patriots and the Texans. And then we have the Rams and the Chicago Bears. I may lean to Chicago for that game. I ain't gonna lie. Because I really do. I really may do that. I really may do that. You know, for real. So I'm going to give you guys a flashback from how I feel about the Buffalo Bills. Alone. So I respect it because you are echoing what mainstream sports media is saying. No Patrick, no Lamar, no Burrow. You got to do it, Josh Allen. You got to do it. And it's only going to get worse tomorrow because you just took out Trevor Lawrence, which a lot of people, myself included, I wouldn't have been surprised if Jacksonville had been in the Super Bowl. Not even a little bit. But now you took out Trevor Lawrence. You got to do it, Josh Allen. Come to Denver next week, nigga. Nigga, fuck this hat. Come to Denver next week. Come to Denver next week. And see what the fuck happened.
Y'all taking the lowest seed, right?
The lowest seed faces the highest seed. Yep. So if the Chargers win tonight, we would face the Chargers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let me pick this hat.
I'm hoping the Patriots.
I didn't mean to throw this hat like that. I paid a lot of money for this hat.
I'm hoping the Patriots win.
I am too. I am too. I am too. Come on, yeah. But you know, I respect what you're saying because not because that's the universal. I mean, that's not because that's the universal thought. If I wasn't a Broncos fan, I would, or if the Broncos weren't in the playoffs, I would be saying the same thing. But seeing as how the Broncos are in the playoffs and we got the best motherfucking record in the league, Buffalo don't scare me. 1, because they can't stop the run. 2, because they don't like ultra physical defenses. 3, Jacksonville tenderized them Josh Allen titties. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Pause.
Ain't no pause my ass. I'm a grown ass man. I ain't saying no damn pause. I ain't talking no homo shit.
Yeah.
Pause my. I'm a grown ass man. Pause my ass.
That's
The one thing Jacksonville did do is they beat that nigga the fuck up. And you know, I have a full 7 days to rest if you have to play us. Because if the Patriots win, you got to see us next Saturday, nigga. Fuck this hat.
again.
Damn it, I forgot I paid a lot of money for that hat. Shit.
Hey, but I
Damn it.
hope we see that because I can't wait for them to humble y'all.
You may be right. Just if that doesn't happen, look for the text. If we play Buffalo and we beat them, look for the text that says, humble these nuts. Okay? Biatch.
Buffalo versus LA Rams Super Bowl.
Fuck that
Calling
Super
it
Bowl.
right now.
Okay. For sure. Fuck that Super Bowl. Okay.
Stafford, Allen.
Well, I wanted some. Anyway. Hampton said, what'd you say, Hampton? You said I better because you pulling up. Nigga, you ain't gonna be pulling up if I'm motherfucking sick. Say that. If I'm sick, if I'm still carrying 102 fever like I'm doing right now, 101.6, the only thing that's pulling up is gonna be the goddamn bed. Lord have mercy. It happens all the fucking time this time of year. I always get goddamn sick. Y'all remember last year in the Super Bowl? I was sick as a dog last year. I ain't even had no Super Bowl party, nothing. I am nothing. The kids came over to watch Kendrick. I watched the Eagles beat the shit out of the Chiefs, and I was so happy. My sick ass came online like I did tonight and brought Sean on so Sean could have his moment. So anyway, I wanted to talk about Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry is in some more shit when it comes to sexual harassment. But his shit is funny, bro. Like, and I don't mean funny like haha. I mean like these people who are accusing him, I gotta look at him like this. I do. And maybe it happened, but why you wait so late? You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But anyway, beautiful people, I gotta get out of here. I gotta go self-medicate because I hadn't had chills all day. I'm starting to get these goddamn chills. So I'm gonna go in here and make me some chicken noodle soup, another hot toddy, take me some NyQuil, and hopefully be comatose by 9:30. Lord have mercy. Yeah. I ain't gonna bullshit. I feel bad. But I came on here because I love my people. I do. But I'm telling y'all this right now. When the Super Bowl is over with, I'm taking about a 2-week break. But I came on here because I love my people. I do. So I gotta come on here Friday because Friday is the season finale of Power. Oh my Lord, I've been looking forward to that. I'll come on here with a thermometer in my mouth again out this bitch. Anyway, it's your boy, a sickly Brandon Bravon Towns. I'm out this bit. Peace. I will see you guys Friday.